Coming up on Channel 8 News, some new and unique stores are coming to Manhattan.
If you've seen prayer fires along the highway, have no worries. See why officials are lighting fires today to prevent future wildfires.
And as you can see, also outside, it's a very sunny day, nice spring day for shorts and shirts. You can walk to class and do whatever you want. As you can see, also dandelions growing out of the ground. It will get warmer later today, and also a nice weekend to look forward to on my weekend forecast later on in the show on Channel 8 News.
This is Channel 8 News, KKSU LP. For Manhattan and Riley County. From Kansas State University, this is Channel 8 News.
Welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Mark Vaca.
And I'm Alec Gartner. 23-year-old Portia Merrills was arrested in Manhattan for child endangerment after police found her home was unsuitable for small children to live in. These children, who are reportedly under 6 years old, are not in danger or injured.
A man is still at large after a suspected robbery earlier this week. K-State police are looking for this man after demanding property from the victim and striking him, then fleeing the scene. The victim only received minor injuries. If you have any information, please contact K-State Police at 785-532-6412.
Here in Kansas, springtime means wildfires are beginning to blaze across the state.
Last year alone, there were over 63,000 wildfires in Kansas. Channel 8 News reporter Natalie Otto is here. Natalie, it looks kind of scary out there with all those fires burning.
That's right, Mark. Burning the fields can be a dangerous and sometimes uncontrollable event if not planned during the right conditions. I experienced firsthand what goes into burning the fields and just how dangerous taking on the heat can be.
An area like this, it's going to burn. It's not a question of if, it's only a question of when. Fire is inherent in the plains. It's going to happen again.
It's that time of year in Kansas. Wildfires crisscrossing the state.
People around here are definitely and rightfully concerned about any fire that happens.
People around Kansas frequently reburn the fields. The idea is to prevent wildfires from spreading, but starting a fire isn't always a controllable task.
One cause of fire that is very common in Kansas is poorly planned burns. There's a lot of people that burn very effectively and very safely and very professionally in Kansas, and every area's got a few that don't.
Mom always told us not to play with fire as little kids, but today, 30 fire science students from Hutchinson Community College are doing just that.
But starting a fire isn't always an event neighbors are too happy about.
This area north of Hutchinson has had some of the worst fire history in Kansas in terms of property loss. There's been several fires in this area in the Sandhills north of Hutch that have burned homes, damaged property, homes destroyed, homes just, not destroyed but damaged. If we can do a fire on a day like today where the weather's fairly moderate, the winds aren't bad, the humidity's not too low, and we have lots of people here, we can keep it as a manageable event.
I was standing only a few feet from the flames and it did get pretty hot out there, but luckily the weather conditions were exactly what the fire department needed to ensure a safe burning. They also provided us with fire safety equipment to make sure the event was as safe as possible.
Thanks, Natalie. Glad you were able to make it back to Manhattan safely. For those who call themselves gamers in Manhattan, there is finally a place to gather for magic, games, and a home away from home.
Goblin Games is a new local game store located on Anderson Avenue. Joey Wyatt and his girlfriend, Ann Higley, opened the store in January. The store sells and provides a place for people to play tabletop games, and business has been booming.
And it's been a lot busier than I was expecting, honestly. And I think part of that is because we haven't had devoted game stores open for a long time. Once people start hearing about us, they come in and go, oh, I've been driving, an hour or 2 hours away to get this stuff, and now it's local.
Goblin Games isn't the only new locally owned store that is providing entertainment for the community.
Channel 8 News reporter Megan Miller is live at the grand opening of Boom Comics, another news store serving as a portal to another world. Megan, are you there?
Thank you, Mark and Alec. We are here at Boom Comics for their grand opening. It just opened this morning, and I'm here with Matthew. Matthew, can you tell us a little bit about the store?
Boom Comics is a comic book store that has board games, video games, and competitive card games like Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Set up to host gamers, and we're set up to host not only vintage gamers like board games and card games, but also video games. We have video game theater that's available for people to use, but we're just happy to be open here in Manhattan.
And Matthew is one of the owners of the store. Matthew, can you tell us a little bit about why you wanted to bring Boom Comics to Manhattan? I understand you have a Topeka store, but tell us about why you brought it down here locally.
Well, we opened in Topeka last year, and we were looking at developing different areas of Kansas as well. And we realized that Manhattan did not have a comic book store presence, which was very surprising to us. So we decided that we would focus our energies here because one of the partners graduated from K-State, one of the partners' wives graduated from K-State, they're very familiar with the town. So we really wanted to bring it to Manhattan.
Alrighty, well, there's people coming in the store now. It's open here on 4th and Leavenworth. So if you're in town, check it out. Thank you very much, Matthew, for being with us today. Thanks. Back to you, Mark and Alec in the studio.
Looks like fun, Megan. Megan will have more on these new stores next week right here on Channel 8 News.
Up next, a new bill could change how Kansans will be buying their alcohol.
And later, how a K-State grad used his degree in a unique way.
To be on radio, you can by signing up to join the Wildcat 91.9. The station is open to all students, no matter what your major is. The best part, you can get experience right away as well as no sign-up fees. You can be a DJ for the alternative and hip-hop and rap rotation, or report for news and sports. Wildcat 91.9, KSDB, Manhattan.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Alec Gartner.
And I'm Mark Vaca. Kansas may soon be seeing a change in how they buy their alcohol.
A new bill could allow grocery and convenience stores to sell harder forms of alcohol. Channel 8 News reporter Ryan Manring talked to liquor and convenience store owners about how this could affect their business.
Thanks, Alex. The new bill would open the doors for many supermarkets and convenience stores with a big budget to start selling full-strength wine and spirits. But that opportunity may come with a cost.
At first, House Bill 2200 means more options for the average consumer and an even playing field for retailers, but for some, it may mean closing the doors for good. The bill would allow grocery and some convenience stores to purchase liquor license from pre-existing liquor stores and begin to sell the same proof alcohol that liquor stores can. Chad Lohman, owner of Nesper's Wine and Spirits, is not in favor of the bill and is concerned it would run himself and many others out of the liquor business.
I think it'd be really bad for the business as a whole. The liquor industry in Kansas would see probably half of the stores go out of business within the first few years, and that's terrible because we are by law all Kansas-owned stores, and so that's a big thing as far as the Kansas economy.
For some, the passing of the bill might mean more convenience and different options, but for local business owners like Nesper's, that might mean laying off employees, closing the doors, and losing a corner on the market of selling specialty items that grocery stores probably won't carry. He thinks that the larger stores won't be affected and believes that the bill could provide some unique opportunities for all liquor store owners.
If you're a big liquor store, you will win the battle. If you're one of the little ones that's next to a convenience store, the way you'll win it is you'll join that convenience store. You'll break down the wall, you'll become one.
For some, the bill could mean trouble down the road, but for others, it may mean a big change in how they run their business.
It looks like we may have some more options down the road as consumers, but some smaller liquor stores may be in for a tough shift in the market if the bill gets passed.
A group that this bill might affect are college students.
Instead of buying alcohol, one former K-Stater decided to start making it. Channel 8 News reporter Daniela Martinez-Serrano has his story.
Thanks, Mark. Eric Martins is a K-State grad who set aside his degree in order to pursue another passion, beer.
Who doesn't love a good quality craft beer? Believe it or not, Kansas City seems to be filled with these microbreweries. Eric Martins, a K-State graduate and owner of Border Brewing Company, is doing just that.
Ultimately, you want to be doing something that makes you happy.
Located in the heart of downtown Kansas City, running a brewery wasn't quite what Martins went to school for.
And I graduated from K-State in December of 2008 with a chemical engineering degree.
Martins was set for life upon graduating and began working at an engineering firm in Kansas City, but later decided that his passion was brewing beer.
Basically, I took a class over at UF and they had a home brewing class. That's where I learned to do it.
It hasn't always been a walk in the park for Martins, who has put everything he has into this business to get it up and running.
Starting your own business is just, it can be a personal struggle. That it can take a toll on your personal life and your relationships and your social life. And so you have to be prepared for that and understand that that's part of it.
After almost 2 years of planning and construction, Border Brewing Company opened in February, but closed temporarily due to running out of beer.
I don't know what the final count was, but it was more than I had expected for our opening day, which was a great problem, but there was a line out the front door basically the entire day. So I guess the lesson that I've learned is it's okay to change what you're doing, even if you've graduated college and you have this nice job. If you don't feel like you're happy doing what you are doing, then there's always an opportunity to change it, no matter how late in life it is.
Martins also hopes that those new to the craft beer world will also get a chance to enjoy his brewing style.
Thanks, Danielle. I'll have to check that out next time I'm in Kansas City.
With the Supreme Court set to make its ruling on same-sex marriage in June, many people are beginning to take a closer look at the issue of marriage equality.
But what really happens when two people who share everything are denied the right to marry?
Channel 8 News reporter Austin Barnes joins us with the story.
Alec, I had the opportunity to spend the weekend getting to know a filmmaker who's using his love story to change the minds of those who oppose gay rights. Tears were expected in Forum Hall recently as internationally known LGBT activist Shane Bitney Crone presented Bridegroom.
I really don't think that I can do this anymore.
His documentary chronicling the events surrounding his late partner's death.
My partner Tom passed before we could get married, and as a result, I had to fight with the hospital to be able to see him. His family was able to just come in and literally take over, and there was nothing that I could do about it.
Despite same-sex marriages being recognized at the federal level for Kansans, same-sex marriages continue.
When you bring people face-to-face with what they're opposing or what they think they're opposing, that it makes it a lot harder for them to oppose it.
Those in attendance at the screening feel that the story of Tom and Shane may be just what Kansans are needing to hear.
Oh yeah, it makes me pissed. Yeah. I mean, not that it didn't anyways, but this just makes it more real. I didn't really know what to expect, but oh gosh, I'm just heartbroken.
Shane, who now visits universities across the country sharing his and Tom's story, does so in hopes of sparking change in the hearts and minds of those who may struggle with the acceptance of LGBT issues.
It is a shining light for university. We need more of these kinds of events and this awareness brought locally so it can expand globally.
I need to fight for what I believe in, and I can't just stand back anymore.
Reactions to the film were strong and mostly positive. However, one critic did leave the film shortly after an opening kissing scene, stating that Shane and Tom were full of the devil.
Thanks, Austin. Up next, see what's being written on coffee cups to bring awareness to another controversial topic.
And Victor Roy is here to see if the weather is here to stay or if it's just an April Fool's joke.
Non-traditional students are an important piece of K-State heritage. Some of these students are veterans returning back to civilian population after serving in our armed forces. This can be a troubling time for these veterans. Trying to adjust back to civilian life can be a hard obstacle to overcome. The Veterans Center at K-State helps these students with this transition. Through counseling and other means, these veterans can find the help they need for this transition at the K-State Veterans Center. The center is located on the ground floor of the Student Union just inside Salsaritas.
Welcome back. I'm Mark Vaca.
And I'm Alec Gartner. Starbucks is raising controversy over their newest campaign. The coffee giant has launched multiple awareness campaigns in the past, but Channel 8 News reporter Rachel Schrag has the story on their latest tactic.
Thanks, Alec. Starbucks usually does a good job of satisfying their customers, but asking for their support in this latest campaign may be too tall of an order.
It's a morning ritual for millions of Americans, a morning cup of coffee. But Starbucks is adding something else to their coffee. Starbucks recently launched a Race Together campaign to encourage their employees and customers to engage in conversations about racial and ethnic inequality.
This is something that should have happened years ago, but it's happening now. Any progress is good progress.
Starbucks gave employees discussion topics and prompted them to mark on consumers' cups.
Although the Race Together campaign didn't reach our local Manhattan Starbucks, other Starbucks across the nation took to spreading the diversity conversation by adding #RaceTogether on your Starbucks cup in addition to your name.
Customers responded on Twitter. Not sure what Starbucks was thinking. I don't have time to explain 400 years of oppression to you and still make my train. #RaceTogether. With events such as Ferguson and Oklahoma University, many people believe that Starbucks' campaign is inappropriate.
They know how to market their brand. In my opinion, I would say there's kind of a timing issue.
Coffee houses are known for relaxation and casual conversation. So some people find talking about diversity in that setting uncomfortable.
Probably because a lot of people don't want to talk about race and those hard-hitting topics when they're getting their morning coffee, or maybe it's something that's sensitive to them.
Despite criticism, CEO Howard Schultz announced that Starbucks still plans on continuing the Race Together campaign.
Best of luck to Starbucks. They accomplished their goals.
Starbucks and USA Today will be collaborating for this campaign and have made the commitment to hire 10,000 unemployed and out-of-school young adults in the next 3 years.
And we'll see how this campaign turns out. Thanks, Rachel.
Speaking of coffee, after I had mine this morning and stepped outside, the weather felt fantastic.
Joining us now is our weatherman, Victor Roy. Now, Victor, will this great weather stay?
Oh, yes, it will, Mark. It's definitely looking good, as you can see. Definitely clear skies, barely any clouds. Definitely some trees. Spring is definitely in full bloom. And as we take a look at the national weather map, we can see that up in Maine, it is 25, but it is mostly cloudy. You can definitely see the sun out there. It will be chilly. As we move down to Florida, it is 83. It definitely will be peaking at the 90 range. As we move along to the northwest, it is 57. Sun still will be shining in most of the national area. And also as we move into the Midwest, 80s, like I said, mostly 70s, 80s, but the sun will be still shining all through the week. As we look at the national map, it's definitely sunny. As we move up, cloudy, like I said, definitely some high pressure lows coming right through Georgia, Tennessee, and the Florida-Georgia line. As we move on to our Kansas map, we have 80s definitely going through Topeka, Salina, Kansas City, as well as moving down into Independence, Kansas in the 70s. As we move into mid-Kansas, Hutchinson, 70s, moving lower, 72s in southern Kansas. As we move into the weather forecast for this week, we have 84, high of 84, low of 50s, high of 70s, low on 37 on Thursday. Fridays, high of 50s, 30s, high of 68s and lows of 44 on Saturday. And as we move in, Sunday 73, Easter Sunday, lows of 48. So you can expect some good weather here in the weekend forecast. Thank you. Mark, back to you.
Thanks, Victor. Speaking of warmer weather, some K-State students were able to enjoy higher temperatures this past weekend. 4 students from KSU flew to Arizona to learn about biotechnology. The students were able to learn more about genetically modified organisms and get advice from the experts. They also have the chance to win a trip to China if they produce a story about biotechnology in the next 3 years.
Some cool stuff, Mark. When we return, our own Matt Cashell will be here for sports update on how the new Veneer complex is going and a big award for a K-State football star.
Hey animal lovers, if you haven't heard, the Sunset Zoo's website is full of information on news, upcoming events, how to get involved, and much more. You can also stay up to date with the zoo by following along on social media sites like Twitter, Pinterest, and Facebook for even more content and become a part of the Sunset community. So get online and check out sunsetzoo.com today.
I'm Jordan. I'm Michael.
I'm Maureen. May.
And we're 4 of the members of On the Spot Improv Club. We do everything improvised.
Completely live.
We're so good at group thing. We all just say a word and everyone will know what I'm thinking.
Brownie Thompson. If you change your word, then we don't know what you're talking about.
Improvise.
Okay. One more time. Ribbon. I don't understand what. How am I supposed to know what you guys are going to think?
The benefits for volunteering for the younger kids, for the middle school kids especially, I think it's really just fun and it's experience with animals that you don't get all the time.
Welcome back. I'm Alec Gartner.
And I'm Mark Vacca. Joining us now is Channel 8 sports news reporter Matt Cashell to fill us in on what's going on in the sports world.
Mark, while the teams are currently in the off-season, there are still many things going on. One of those things is that the new Varnia football complex is really shaping up. The $65 million project added more seats and had its last piece of steel installed this week. After the Varnia complex is finished, workers will start on the next phase, and that's working on the northern corners as well as the video board. The project looks to be finished by August of this year. A K-State star has added another accomplishment to his already impressive resume. Tyler Lockett was named the winner of the Jet Award for the top return man in college football of 2014. Lockett averaged 20 yards on kick returns and ran 2 punts for a touchdown this past season. The award is named after Johnny the Jet Rogers, who won the Heisman Trophy at Nebraska. Lockett will have to wait till May to see which NFL team will draft him. And lastly, there was a report in the Collegian this morning that K-State legend Collin Klein was granted 1 more year of eligibility. Unfortunately, this was an April Fool's joke and is not true.
That's unfortunate, as it would have been great to have him taking snaps once again. Thanks, Matt.
No problem.
Yeah, you're right, Mark. That would have been great. Losing Jake Waters and then getting a new quarterback with Collin Klein again, that would have really helped the team.
I'm sure Bill Snyder would have loved that, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Coming up, one last look at the weather and an interview with special guests.
Stay tuned.
Benefits for volunteering for the younger kids, for the middle school kids especially, I think it's really just fun and it's experience with animals that you don't get all the time.
Have you ever wanted to be on radio? You can by signing up to join the Wildcat 91.9. The station is open to all students, no matter what your major is. The best part? You can get experience right away as well as no sign-up fees. You can be a DJ for the alternative and hip-hop and rap rotation, or report for news and sports. Wildcat 91.9, KSDB, Manhattan.
Welcome back. I'm Alec Gartner.
And I'm Mark Vaca. With this great weather, many students are outside dancing for joy.
But could they be dancing for a good cause? Channel 8 News reporter Katie Johnston is joined by the directors of Dance Marathon.
Thanks, Alec, and thanks, Mark. I'm here with Nicole Fiorentino and Adrian Esculin, the directors of the Dance Marathon here at Kansas State University. Now, could you guys tell me a little bit about what Dance Marathon actually is?
Sure. Dance Marathon is a little bit of a tricky name. You actually don't have to know how to dance to be in Dance Marathon. It's more of a fundraiser for the kids of Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So all year we kind of fundraise and raise awareness for the sick children in our local area in Topeka, Kansas. And then at the end of the year, we have a dance marathon. That's where the name comes from, where we invite the kids, invite all the students to come for anywhere from 8 to 48-hour dance marathon. Ours will be actually 8 hours. So yeah, and we just have a great day with the kids and kind of celebrate them getting healthier and us fundraising for them.
Of course. Now, you mentioned it is an 8-hour event. Now, is this something that people usually train for?
Definitely not. It'll have more than just dancing. We'll have kind of entertainment, local entertainment. Do you want to talk more about what will go on at the event?
Yeah, so the event's going to be at the Alumni Center here on April 19th, and there's going to be a lot of things that go on. So we'll have special performers come up on stage. We'll have activities to do with the kids. If you think about it, the whole event is a way to get the kids out of their environment from the hospitals and show them a good time, show what it means to be a kid again, have fun with the students on our campus and have a good time interacting with them in that way. So there'll be food provided, activities, games. You really won't notice that you're there for 8 hours if you think about it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you guys at the event.
Thank you.
Thanks, Katie. Sounds like a great opportunity to support a good cause.
We have just enough time to take one last look at the weather. Victor, what's it like out there?
Yeah, Mark, it is sunny out here, nice spring weather. As you can see, the grass is definitely greener, a high of 84, a low of 55, and that will be all for the weather looking at this week. Back to you, Mark and Alec.
That will wrap it up for us here at Channel 8 News. We're here every Wednesday morning at 10:30 to bring you the latest news from Manhattan and K-State. Also, check us out on Facebook and Twitter at Channel 8 KSU.
From all of us here at Channel 8 News, have a great week. We'll see you next time.